Well, welcome to another great episode of Skin Talk.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I know.
And we're all dressed up for it.
Yes, a new season, new episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, we have to credit our fans for picking out these outfits, because we did a Facebook competition. We had 2 outfits up. And these were the outfits that fans voted on, and it's
really
perfectly
like the
fitting.
other one better, but
Hey, the fans spoke. They did what they wanted.
See how loyal we are to you guys, that whatever you tell us, we do.
Exactly. So, and actually, to their credit, black is the color for melanoma.
Yes.
So, awesome.
So that is our theme for the show.
Yeah.
And we want to thank All About Me, Diane and Anne-Marie, who are our great
Fashion
outfitters,
people,
yes,
stylists, they're
kudos.
amazing. In Hamden, Mass, it's All About Me. It's a great store, great
and
boutique.
you could go online, allaboutme.com, and check out what they got.
It's perfect. They can dress as well.
So I heard you had an exciting weekend.
I did, actually. I don't know if you would call it exciting.
Tiring,
exhausting, near-death experience.
Okay, now do tell, please.
I did the Bone Frog Challenge.
Okay.
And basically, what this is it's 9. Yeah, I know I have to explain it. It's not easy in the title to understand. It's 9 to 12 miles, 36 obstacles, and it's designed by Navy SEALs.
So in
I was
this 9
crippled
to 12 miles,
by the time we were done.
You just sort of like run and grab little snacks along the way, kind of thing, right?
No, not so much. It's like straight uphill, rope work, mud crawls.
I actually.
You have
to our fans, to our fans, I have some pictures that you sent me.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
Let's just show these pictures of this wonderful triumph that our Megan did. Yeah. Well, this is you and 2 of your friends.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, my sister and my friend. Yeah.
Oh, really? Your sister did?
Yeah, my sister did it with me. So yeah.
And then the other picture. What are you climbing? You look like you're over a swamp.
It's a cargo net. It was pretty high up.
Oh, awesome.
A lot of upper. Yeah. Thank you. Well, speaking of challenges, what have you got going on, Missy?
Well,
what have you gotten yourself into, actually?
Talk about the New York City Marathon.
Yes, always.
And how over the past 4 years, the Melanoma Education Foundation was gracious enough to be a part of it.
Right.
The charity giving program of New York Roadrunners. It asked us to be in. And so, in desperateness, I couldn't fill a last spot. And loyal as I am to our show and to the melanoma awareness campaign that the Melanoma Education Foundation does, I took that last spot.
26 miles, it's no big deal, right?
So in all fairness, this is a picture of me starting out on I had to do 18 miles.
Oh my God.
So the picture you're seeing now is like, I'm starting out. Okay, I could do this.
I don't know what's wrong with you.
Well, this picture, that was me after the 18th mile. So yeah, crazy.
I can imagine.
But yeah, 5 boroughs, 26.2 miles, 5 bridges.
All right, I've decided we're both crazy.
Yes, sounds good.
But anyways, we have an amazing show coming up today. We've got 2 major pieces of the show, which are just going to knock your socks off.
Yeah, Becky Cirillo is such a amazing individual. I mean, we meet people all the time,
right?
Who and our viewers who've gone through so much in their life, loss of a loved ones and illness. But this particular individual, if I can give an award to like the best citizen,
I know.
It would really go to her.
Yep.
It's such a heart-wrenching story.
Right, and her story actually might prompt some of you to get checked out.
Yeah.
So definitely stay tuned.
Yeah, and it's not, surprisingly enough, it's not melanoma.
Right.
And we obviously are a huge advocate of melanoma because of our personal experiences.
Right.
But we are about skin, we are about cancer and health and awareness. So this is definitely something that, you want to stay tuned.
Yeah, don't change the dial. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Skin Talk.
On our show today is this spunky, very determined, wonderful, courageous woman who is a mentor to all women who have triumphed. I'm already crying. Who had to go
Debbie
through.
needed to bring her tissues.
Yes. See, I was saying you guys needed tissues, but I really needed them. Becky Cirillo. We are so honored to have you on the show. The most positive woman in the world and an outstanding person, citizen. I can't speak enough about you.
I know.
And I mean that sincerely, because after hearing your story, I was like, you have to be on the show. You have to share this with others. Everybody goes through something. We've all suffered something. And it's how I think you take it.
Yeah,
That's
even
going to
hearing
affect your life.
your story just right before the show, you were completely positive. So why don't you tell us a little bit about
please.
what happened?
Last year, actually 2 years ago now, I decided when I went in for a physical to my doctors, I know my medical history is not well. My father suffers from diabetes. My mother's family, my grandmother was one of 17. She literally, 15 of the 17 died in their early 60s due to diabetic complications.
So you were already very conscious of health.
Yes, very conscious of health.
Wow.
And what happened is I went in for my physical, and they wrote on my medical records, healthy, morbidly obese female. And I think I almost
Clearly you did not look like you look now.
No.
But we have a picture.
We have a picture,
If
yes.
we pause just for a second. This is Becky. How many years ago would you say that this is your with your cousins?
That was 2 years ago.
And then to go to the other one, this one, beautiful, still beautiful. You're standing in this beautiful black dress, and that's around the same time?
Yep.
Wow.
How much did you weigh there?
296 pounds.
So you lost a total of about 160?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is amazing.
So that was a wake-up call.
That
was
is not easy.
That's not easy. I did it.
Losing 5 pounds isn't easy.
Right. I did it just basically for my health, and I didn't. My father's going through a lot of medical issues right now, so I didn't want to see myself being that way when I was in my late 50s, or going into my 40s, looking like that. And with 4 children, and you're constantly running, and just go, go, go.
And what's the ages of your children?
I have a 15-year-old son, I have a 14-year-old daughter, a 12-year-old daughter, and a 9-year-old son.
Oh my, you're busy lady.
Busy.
So how did this actually all come about, your diagnosis?
Well, last December, my husband and I were just horsing around in the house with the kids, and he went to pick me up from behind.
Now, was this already, you were starting to lose weight?
I had already started losing weight at that time. I had already lost over 100 pounds.
Wow. Okay.
And he went to lift me up, and he felt his thumb on my right breast, and he felt a lump. And he's like, "Hon, you have a lump in your breast." And by that time, it was the size of an extra large egg. And I immediately called my OBGYN. They called me a prescription in to go get a mammogram and an ultrasound.
They say that the partner is oftentimes the one who finds the lump.
Yeah, so and normally, I was 38 at the time. You wouldn't go for a yearly mammogram.
No, right. Is it 40? I think
it's 40 is the cutoff ages. And now, I personally think it should be done between 30 and 40.
To get a baseline at least,
because there's a lot more younger generation getting breast cancer.
Even with melanoma.
Yep.
I mean, my daughter is 7, and she, at 5, had to have a mole removed.
Wow.
So honestly, I think you really have to start early.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you went in. And
so I went in, and I had the mammogram, and I had an ultrasound, and they said, yes, there is a mass. We wanted to do further investigation, so they had me go in for a biopsy. I went in for a biopsy, and the very next day it came back positive cancer.
Oh my! How was that moment when you got the diagnosis?
Shocking.
And you weren't by yourself?
I was not by myself. I was with my husband, and
Thank goodness.
But it was very shocking because I didn't think it was going to come back so quickly as being
and you had been someone who
cancer.
Really took care of yourself, knowing.
Yes, yeah, and I mean, I walked every day 2 to 5 miles. I eat healthy. That's why it was so shocking for them to say I was morbidly obese, because. You were active. I was active, and it's because I didn't have sugar, I didn't have diabetes, I didn't have, high cholesterol or blood pressure.
What was the cause of the weight gain? Did they have an explanation?
Just, over the years, genetics. I mean, a lot of my family's overweight.
Right. That is really hard to work against genetics.
Yes,
I mean, people deal with that all the time, leading healthy, active lifestyles, but just genetically, when you have a parent or a sibling that's had something,
And I think honestly too, I mean, obviously with us, being more active over the past, couple of years, I found with myself that certain things that are typically healthy just don't react to my body well. And something that, maybe it's getting older, that what I was able to eat 5 years ago, cross that. is I actually feel like it's making me gain weight or making me
bloated,
feel bloated.
Or makes you feel toxic.
Yeah, so it could also,
That's a great way to
it's a very
describe it.
good way to say that, where it's like you feel that you're eating the right things, but even the right things just aren't meshing with our body well.
Right.
You know?
So what happens next?
So I go in and I got the diagnosis, and I cried for a little while, and I said, okay, where do we go from here? How do we fix this?
Yep.
I never looked back at that diagnosis. I just said, how do I get better?
Forward.
So
you had said something when we were in the back, you know, getting ready, which was very compelling. You're like, you know what? I cried at that moment. I let it all out. And, you know, your determination of, like, looking at the doctor.
What's the
is how you
solution?
described, what's the solution? How do I fix it?
Yep.
yeah.
And you said you never
showed me-
looked back.
right,
You
I
just
didn't
never
look
looked
back.
back. You never cried again.
They
You just
They
that's it.
showed me some diagrams, you know,
And some kind of model or
a
something?
model of what actually it was stage 2, level 4 cancer, and the mass was so large that they had to do a second biopsy, which I did get done. They did find another lump in my left breast, but it was benign, and
Thank God.
I said, well, what's the chances of it moving to the other breast? And they said 50 to 80%. So I
my
said,
goodness.
I'm just going to opt for a double mastectomy.
Wow.
And that's when I said, okay, when do we go through this? They go, well, first you're going to go through chemotherapy. I watched my grandmother go through chemotherapy, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be so terrible.
Yep.
I had to go underneath, under anesthesia, and they put a port in where they would attach the chemo. You go and you sit for 4 hours, and they fill your body full
How
of these
often?
medications, once every 21 days. Now, I don't know if it differs
vary
from,
from
it differs
person.
from person to person.
Right.
But at this time, it was once every 21 days, and they put it on very heavy because I was young.
So that must have just knocked you out.
The first session was actually wonderful. I said, if this is the worst it gets, is that I'm a little fatigued, then this is
and
great.
I can do this.
Right.
But that was the first
That
session.
was the first session.
It has to build up in your system.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. The second session didn't go so well. The second session, I ended up getting very sick towards the end of the session. And
So you didn't even make it through the whole session.
I made
You
it through the session.
But
I
you
made it
started
through the
feeling
session.
sick.
In the second, after I had left and went home, I wasn't feeling well, and I thought it was from the chemo. And I said to my husband, I said, I don't feel so well. I have this burning sensation in my chest. And he said, you know, well, are you going to be okay? And I said, yeah. No sooner did he leave, I literally was calling an ambulance. I ended up having a gallbladder that was fully inflamed and infected, and the chemotherapy had eaten away through my small intestines and made my
In
body
just
septic.
2 sessions.
In 2
Think
sessions.
how powerful that is.
So
that usually, you know, when you take something, whether it be antibiotics or
Right.
people who smoke, whatever, you know how it takes time to build up and
Yeah,
really
this
tear
was,
your body.
my body
It
was
tore
really
your body
healthy. And you know, when
the
you go
chemo is
through
what's so strong. It kills the
Right.
good and the bad.
when I went through bariatric surgery in order to lose the weight, you take a lot of daily vitamins, so my body was very healthy
Very
at the
fit.
time.
Right. Yeah.
So when you're taking a medication, even such as small as an aspirin or a Tylenol, it works on your body immediately because you know you already are healthy. So
So
I
you
ended
just
up-
knew to call the ambulance. Like, you didn't mess around
I
with
called.
that.
I
Don't
called
take
my
any
son, and
chances, right.
he called 911, and I literally they brought me, you know, here to Palmer, and went to the wing, and then from the wing they brought me to UMass Medical Center where I underwent emergency surgery.
Oh my
They
goodness.
took out my
like you didn't have
gallbladder.
enough going on.
Oh, God. That's
They
what
took
makes
out-
you
yeah.
triumphant.
rock
They
star.
took out my
Totally.
gallbladder.
She looks like a rock star.
They repaired my small intestines, and I was there for a week. You know, at that point I had no hair at all.
Oh my goodness.
But my kids, you know, everyone, we just stayed tough, and the doctors were like, I was up and walking the next day after I got all of this septic out of my body.
Enough. Yeah, they caught it soon enough. Now, were you able to go back on, did you have to go back on the chemo?
I
or
did not go
like,
back
how
on the
did they-
chemotherapy. The doctor said, I'm not going to be responsible for your demise, and we no longer had to go through chemo sessions. They just put me on tamoxifen, which is for the next 5 years.
Wow.
And now, after seeing all of the outcomes of tamoxifen on the news and in the papers these days,
You don't wanna be on that.
I do not want to be on that. And
Right.
So what's
since-
the
That can have
alternative,
negative-
though?
yeah.
Since the gallbladder out, I did have a double mastectomy in June, June 5th, I was cancer-free.
Oh,
Yay.
congratulations. Wonderful.
So June 5th, I became cancer-free, and they put in tissue expanders in order to keep the pocket for breast implants, as well as I had a full hysterectomy at that time. In July.
believe
So
that?
within
Losing weight, what was kind of the operation that you had? You didn't have the band thing.
bariatric
It's the
surgery.
Bariatrics, where they
actually cut your stomach.
to make it smaller.
Yep.
And then
she
the
gets a cancer
gallbladder.
The
diagnosis.
gallbladder.
Then she got the cancer diagnosis.
Then
Yes.
the gallbladder.
Then the gallbladder. Then the
small intestines.
small intestines.
Then
Then
a double mastectomy, and then a full hysterectomy.
How are
And
you
now-
still smiling?
I am,
know.
because you
This
just
is how
I
she
don't
is
I don't
all the
have
time.
I
And
don't
you don't
have
have a
time
choice,
to
right?
feel. I don't have time to be angry. I don't have time
Right.
to hold grudges. I don't have time
you're like the
to.
biotic woman.
I just
We're
don't have
slowly
time for that.
pacing you back. You're gonna get great breath.
This is
I'm
You're
gonna
gonna have.
My husband said he wanted a newer model after 20 years, so here he goes.
oh my goodness.
But cashing in the old one. The
That's
warranty is
right.
up
That's
because
right.
parts started to fall apart.
Yep.
So hey, now get the new one
Oh
improved.
my gosh.
Yep. So I go actually to, the Monday after next, and I'm going to actually have another surgery, and I'm going to have the second stage of my reconstruction surgery for my breasts. And then they're going to do a tummy tuck,
But you see,
which,
now this is
Nice.
which is
like
it's
surreal, or
yes,
what's that?
it's
That
the
thing. It's the good. It's bad, but it's good.
Yeah,
it's the
exactly.
catch
blessing in
22.
disguise. Yes.
where it's like, ooh, all right.
Yeah.
I had to
so-
go through something horrible, but out of something so bad and so
Came
tragic,
something good.
Something
Yeah.
you were blessed.
Yeah,
with
and
that.
I was lucky because I did get tested for the BRCA gene, and I do not carry it, so I
good.
don't have to worry about my children carrying it. I went through sentinel lymph node surgery where they took out my sentinel lymph nodes, and I did not have it in my lymph nodes either, so that was
Wow.
great. It didn't go through any glands in my body.
think
That we
you
just
are
happened to
superwoman.
catch it,
you are.
and you just have to be positive. If you're not positive about things, I always just said, cancer doesn't beat me, I beat it.
Right.
I win, it doesn't win me, and you just have to continue on with
And
that.
you know, I've read so much that the mental power,
Positive thinking.
the positive
Absolutely.
thinking, the mental power of saying to yourself, "I'm going to kick this. I'm going to be okay."
It can
You know,
really
and
make
that's
an
when you
impact.
started from the very beginning. Yes, we're going to cry. Yes, it's the most tragic. I can't put myself in that shoes. I could be very sympathetic, but I can't be empathetic.
Right.
In the sense, because I don't know what it feels like to have to go through that.
Yeah.
And I could only imagine, again, for what we deal with,
What kind of a
I
shock?
don't think I can even imagine the shock, and for you to physically go through that. But every time I see you, you're like, oh, you're happy, very energetic, very like, woo, yeah, glass of
I
wine,
just have
come
to
in,
keep
sit down,
going.
have a
I
glass
don't,
of
you know, I
wine."
didn't.
You're
My
just
children, when I first told them, were
loving
very upset.
But
Obviously.
you have a
course.
very tight-knit family.
Yes,
you
we
and your
do.
children and your husband are
Yes.
a solid rock.
You've grown together,
which is
I'm sure,
very.
for you.
Oh,
but they were
over
like
25
that
years,
before
yeah.
that. Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
married for
20. I've been with my husband 25 years, married 21 years
That
this
in
year.
itself deserves.
I know, that's an accomplishment alone.
But it's when I told my children, they were very upset and
course,
everything else because
yeah.
you hear the word cancer and they
Oh,
think
it's
death
terrifying.
immediately,
Yep.
and that's not. You don't want to. I didn't want to portray that to my children. The only time they actually really saw me that I was sick was when I lost my hair. Then it really
then
hit
it really
reality.
hits home.
And I was just like, okay, so I got a couple wigs, I
Yep.
modeled some hats, and
Keep
just
on going.
keep on
Now,
moving.
beautiful.
can I bring a little attention to this beautiful tattoo that you
Yes.
have? I don't know if you can show the camera there.
Well, part of the segment too was
Keep it there.
we talked about tattoos earlier.
Yes.
So this is like a perfect segue into that. And one of the tattoos that we showed earlier was hope. And what does yours say?
This is love, and this is my breast cancer symbol. That when I found out I had breast cancer.
And it had the date.
And the date is actually 20 years of marriage.
Wow. That's a true symbol of survival. I
Yeah.
just want to congratulate you
Yeah.
again
Thank
on your
you.
incredible story.
Just wanted to mention really quickly, because I've been eyeing your necklace, and I see that it has the pink. I don't know if the cameras can zoom in on the necklace as well, but there's a story to that, and I heard you talking about it earlier.
A friend of mine who lives in Martha's Vineyard, she asked me to go out before my surgery to have some me time and get away from reality a little bit, and I love the beach. So we went out to the beach, and she evidently found some sea glass and had her sister-in-law, who makes jewelry, make me this beautiful handmade breast cancer piece of glass from her. And she sent it down to me in the mail, and I just got it.
That's incredible.
And I love it.
What
And
a
you
great
know what?
story.
As far as a strong family, as far as your strong, beautiful spirit, it's little things like this that's sentimental whether it be a tattoo or something like this, it's something tangible that you could look at, touch, feel, a symbol of like, you know what, this is what I need to move forward. And everybody has something a little different, you know. But you have truly been such an inspiration. And if I could give you an award, put you on a pedestal, and be like, listen, you truly have been an example of going through a war, beating it, and having a whole wonderful attitude for it. So I really
applaud you.
Thank you.
No awards, but a little gift for being on the show.
Another little memento to keep you inspired and to know how much that you are loved, and that we really do appreciate your courageous
Thank you. It was an
efforts.
honor to be on your show.
Thank you for sharing your story. I know telling it isn't easy.
I know.
But we like the end result.
Moving.
Yep. Absolutely. Awesome. We have an amazing announcement coming up, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Skin Talk.
Yes. So can we please say the new thing now?
Yes, you've been a good girl. You've been a good girl. So we can say our big secret. Are you guys ready for this?
I've been really good at keeping my big mouth shut, and you know I cannot keep my big mouth shut.
She's been a good girl. So this is big news. From now on, during the show, we are going to have a new segment featuring Leanne Sedlak. She is a massage therapist and the owner of Skin Catering Spa.
Power to the women!
Welcome, Leanne! So excited to have you.
Hi, Leanne.
Hi, ladies. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, we love you. Actually, Leanne, Skin Catering is the first spa in Western Mass that was Skinny on Skin certified, meaning they know how to detect melanoma awareness. Yeah.
More people need to get that.
Absolutely. Leanne, how long have we known each other?
Forever.
Too long, right?
How long have we known each other, Leanne?
How long's the show? No, just kidding, Deb. Just kidding.
So, Leanne, you have some amazing things planned for us today. You've got a great segment lined up. What are you talking about today?
I like the bag.
So today we're talking about some choices. Yes, we'll get to my bag. That's another little secret for you later, Deb.
Okay.
So, today we're talking about some choices. So in the early 80s, Australia came up with this really great campaign about cancer awareness because they're like
really high in melanoma rates.
Exactly, that's what I was looking for.
I got you.
We got your back, don't worry.
That's why I'm the segment host, not the full host. So yes, Australia came up with this campaign in the early 80s, and it's actually become institutionalized. And it's called Slip, Slap, Slop. And in 2007...
Yeah, say that 10 times fast.
Exactly. They added two more. They added Seek and Slide.
Yeah.
So
I hope they're talking about sunscreen here, because this is a PG show.
Oh
so
my God!
but I've kept it PG for us today.
You can't pay me to say that.
So the first thing is slip on a shirt, and slop would be slop on some sunscreen.
Pay extra attention to that one.
Slap it on good.
That's right. And then the third thing is slap. You're going to slap on a hat.
Oh, I thought that was like domestic violence slap.
No. You're going to slap you to keep interrupting me. No, just kidding. Then the fourth one is to seek, and you're going to seek some shade.
Love it.
And then the last one of the five is to slide on your sunglasses.
Oh, now that's important, the sunglass piece.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
people
gotta
get
protect the
melanoma
eyes.
in the eyes.
Yep, absolutely. This is great. So what else have you got? You got some review of some
So-
sunscreens here.
Yes, I have reviews of sunscreen. So we have some different choices. We all like choices. Like today, we had some choices to what to wear. Even though we had to keep it
What's wrong
black,
with
I had choices of what I could wear. So there's some different choices. Hat. You can go really big. You can go really cool. You can go, you know, a little more sporty. Same with
Yeah.
sunglasses.
I see how
do
you
the
picked
same thing.
the Boston baseball hat.
Of course, I had to put
There
that
are
in
some
there.
New Yorkers in the house, just FYI.
I don't know where you are. I can hear you, but I can't see you. Where are you?
Believe me, you can hear me all right. I can be 5 blocks away and you can hear me.
Hence the New Yorker.
I would say
Okay, okay.
So today we're going to review a couple of sunscreens to make it really simple for us. One of the options is a spray sunscreen. So this Neutrogena, a lot of people like to use Neutrogena because it is a light sunscreen. It is nice on the skin. It feels good. And it's great because you can spray it on there.
Yeah, I was going to say, Leanne, we get a lot of questions about spraying, and it's just as good, right? It's just as good as a lotion.
Well, spraying can be a little bit deceiving because if you're at the beach and if there's any wind,
Yeah.
Oh,
you're
good point.
spraying
I
that
get that with my
sunscreen and
kids.
it's actually not getting on your skin. So if you were thinking you were slathering sunscreen on all day long
You're not.
and you were using the spray kind, but when you got home you were burned to a crisp, that could be why.
All right,
Yeah.
good to know. Keep going.
So a couple of other options. There's the Environmental Working Group every year puts out a list of safe sunscreens. And there's a lot of talk about toxins and things like that. And we don't want people avoiding sunscreen altogether
I get a lot of that
because of
'cause-
toxins.
Yes, of that. They look, oh, well, I'll get, cancer from this because it has all these toxins in it. Or my skin is so sensitive, it's going to make me break out because of the chemicals
You're
in
the
it.
expert in this, Leanne, right? Because you have a whole brand
hear it all,
of
I'm sure.
cosmetics that is
I've done
toxin-free.
a lot of research in
But
my day.
you've
that's
heard
for
all of
sure.
those too, right?
Oh, she gets that all the time.
Yeah, I hear a lot of questions about that, and so I feel really good about answering them for you. For example, myself, I'm allergic to retinol palmitate. I can't use that, and that's in a lot of sunscreens. So that forced me to go look for healthier, non-toxic sunscreens. So there are a couple of different varieties out there. Another sunscreen I'm showing you today is called Envy Post Tan. This is really great for anybody who does spray tanning instead of going outside to get a tan altogether.
But you're also a rock star at.
Thank you.
I know, I have some
So
great
this
spray tans.
brand is oil-free, so you don't have to worry about it ruining your spray tan. Yet, because there's no SPF in your spray tan, you still need to protect yourself. A lot of my clients will come get spray tans before they go on vacation. We are heading into the fall and the winter, so I start to actually pick up business because they're losing their tan. But when they go away on winter break, spring vacation, things like that, you still want sunscreen because there's no SPF in that. So this is a really great option for that, and that is a more natural. There is still some chemicals in it, but it's a more natural. So it's almost like a hybrid between your commercial brand and your mineral brand.
We get a lot of people who are like, oh, well, it's winter. Oh, it's not sunny out. Oh, it's a cloudy day.
Still
so
have
I
to
don't
wear
need
the sunscreen.
It should be like, I'm sure you can answer this, that as you get up in the morning, you take your shower, you brush your teeth, and you put like a lotion on that has the SPF in it. So would you recommend something like that, like with that?
Definitely a face cream with an SPF in it. What you can do is actually mix your foundation. If you have a really nice creamy sunscreen that's good for the face, you can mix that with your foundation and get your SPF that way
Unless
without
you're a
any
guy.
added steps.
You may want to skip the foundation, but then again, you may.
You never know.
Yeah.
All right, what else you
Depending.
got for us? What other kinds?
All right, and the last one is a fully mineral-based sunscreen. This is actually my personal favorite to use. One, because of the price point of it. That's another thing we hear a lot is that
It's
organic
expensive.
or
Yeah.
all natural sunscreens cost a lot. And I'm happy to say that they're getting better with the pricing of them the more they put them into production.
Great.
So Block Island Organics, it's a great 6-ounce tube. It's squeezable, it's super creamy, and it's made with zinc and titanium dioxide. They also have a version for babies as well that is strictly zinc. It has no titanium dioxide, so they've even lessened what they've used for minerals for the babies as well.
Leanne,
So-
is that Block Island, Rhode Island?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
We
so
like
it's
to keep
kind
it
of local, New England. Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, so-
This is wonderful. Such
Now,
a
is
help.
there a shelf life to, because I know all, which again, a lot of people don't realize that there is definitely a shelf life to any
year,
kinds
right?
of lotions, to any kind of sunblocks. But with the, being natural, sometimes people feel because it's natural that they have a
less
longer
of it,
shelf life.
yeah, or less
Or
sometimes.
yeah,
Or
that's
less,
true.
yeah.
So I was just, curious. What's your take on that?
Sunscreen is considered in the drug category, and they usually, I believe, the rule of thumb is about a year.
Yes, that's what
for,
we've heard, too.
active
Yeah.
ingredients.
Okay.
And to refrigerate it, is that still a good, rule of thumb? Like if people wanted to so prolong it, or if they're not going to use it for, which you should never not use it. Like I said, it should be a daily thing. But could they put it in the refrigerator, you think?
I'm not sure that would help the active ingredients at all. With the ingredients that are in this, they don't have to be refrigerated, so you're saving yourself a lot with that.
Awesome. Leanne, you're a rock star.
Thank you.
This was such useful information
And
for
I
our
just want to say,
viewers.
even though we are going into the fall and winter, that sunscreen is always in season. So, thanks
You
so
are
much,
wonderful.
Devin.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us. And
Thank
taking
you,
those
Leanne.
bags when we leave.
Yeah, we might steal some of the stuff
You
on
can't
the
have
table
my
over
bags.
there.
That's my other
Thank
choice,
you
is
so
carry
much.
all my stuff to the beach, all my sunscreen.
But
So
thank you.
Leanne is wonderful. Again, she's from Skin Catering Spa, and she is going to be a regular on our show.
I know.
So
How lucky
excited.
are we?
We're too lucky. So stay tuned. We have a little bit more for you, and don't touch that dial.
The power that one person has to impact the world is immensely impressive and can change our lives forever. Impact the world. Talk about melanoma. Get educated.
Help us create this change. Join our fight to save lives from melanoma. Visit us at skintalk.org. So this show rocked.
Yes.
I'm just saying it. I'm going to say it. So
yes.
very
And we
excited
look
to
like
be
we
here.
rocked it.
Yes.
With our nice clothing from All About Me.
Yep.
And I tell you, Leanne is amazing.
Yep. So excited
So-
to have her be a part of the show.
So we're looking forward to that. We're blessed with having some great fans. We're blessed with having great guests.
Yeah.
So
If you want any more information about us, you can always find us at skintalk.org.
Yes.
Or you can email us at info@skintalk.org.
make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.